you think about, like, for example, everybody's familiar with Louisiana is now going to put the 10 Commandments back into the schools. Guys, the 10 Commandments doesn't exist anymore, okay? If you understand the text, you understand the scripture, the 10 Commandments was abolished by the two greatest commandments, because love is so powerful that if you truly understood how to love thyself and love thy neighbor, there can be no stealing, there can be no murder, there can be no all these other things that we had, these necessary like laws, right? The law of man, lordship, kingdoms of men, is an illusion that keeps us stuck in a dualistic reality where we actually perceive that energy is good or evil because of the tree of knowledge, the original sin, right? It's all a part of their indoctrination to keep you stuck in a limitation or a boundary, if you will. There is no conditional world, right? That energy comes at you in an evil or good way. It's simply by way of understanding that energy comes. So when you are actually doing this work and you have a righteous mind, you have a righteous way to be, you understand the flow of energy being to love thyself so you can love your neighbor, all energy is welcome. This is empathy, right? One of my favorite superpowers, clear empathy. When you actually understand that we are all empathetic by nature. I know there's a lot of other label traps being thrown around today, like narcissism, gaslighting. That's real. That's happening for somebody that doesn't understand the universal law of the golden rule of to love thyself and to love thy neighbor, and how that's a cyclical flow of energy, that everything's allowed. So a narcissist is stuck in a belief system believing that they are the way, the truth, and the life, the way they think, their whole reality. They're the star of their movie, and they won't recognize that there's another perspective, another ego involved in the conversation, and they manipulate and mold conversations to be more fulfilling for their perspective only, with no compassion. That's happening. So it's a thing that's happening. But when we continue to victim blame or victimize, I'm in a relationship with a narcissist and everything, you have to get to a place where you're accepting your responsibility for creating this reality that you're living in.